Thank you. Thanks to all of you for coming today, and thank you, Sheriff Waters and the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office for hosting our law enforcement partners across the region to discuss this important issue. Today, we're here to talk about Senior Assassins, a game being played by high school seniors in public and private schools here and across the state of Florida and the nation. With me today are law enforcement partners from the Beaches, Fernandina, Nassau, Clay, Duval, and the school board, where high school seniors are currently playing the game. Teens sign up to play this game and are assigned another senior or seniors as their target. The players seek to eliminate their assigned targets using water guns. This year, play in our area has apparently just recently begun and is scheduled in some schools to start next week. While the game involves water guns, it often occurs in the dark, in the late hours of night, or the early hours of the morning. Play occurs off school campus and often pervades the boundaries of private property, including yards, driveways, garages, and cars. And the water guns often look like real firearms, certainly in the dark. It sometimes can involve masks, camouflage, and other gear intended to obscure identity. And while intended to be really a simple and fun game, these tactics can obviously create a dangerous environment with potentially fatal consequences. And the reality is we live in a different day than when we did when this game started some decades ago. Across the country, there have been tragedies and near tragedies that have occurred as a result, and all in retrospect preventable. In one instance, a teen player was paralyzed when the father of a target shot him, mistaking the game for a criminal assault. In another, teens ambushed friends at a restaurant wearing ski masks and holding water guns, believing they were that appeared as real firearms. And a fellow diner, a Good Samaritan, drew his gun on these teens, believing they were robbing the restaurant. Kids, both running and driving from assassins or chasing targets, have been in traffic accidents and collisions. Schools have been evacuated and locked down. And from St. Johns County to Pennsylvania, 911 operators have been inundated with calls from worried and scared homeowners who see what they believe are people lurking outside of their home. So it's in light of these and other hazards surrounding this game that JSO last year issued a public service announcement warning parents and students of the potential dangers. And just this past Monday, Bishop Kenny High School sent a letter to its parents for the third year in a row, cautioning them about the possible dangers of the game and prohibiting it on school grounds. These warnings about what could potentially happen has sadly come to pass. So yesterday, this game culminated in what could have been a fatal tragedy right here in our circuit. Our office responded to a shooting in Nassau County early yesterday morning. Sheriff Leeper will brief the facts of the shooting in a moment, but suffice it to say, kids playing Senior Assassin were mistaken for home invaders. Our office was called because the homeowner is also a law enforcement officer, and our office responds, as you all know in the media, to all critical incidents involving law enforcement. The student is thankfully alive and will be okay. This morning he is in surgery to repair a broken arm. So today, we ask for your help in shutting the game down. I'm the mother of three. I have two current high schoolers and a college freshman who played this game last year. Many of us in this room and on stage have teens who have played, but it's incumbent on all of us to ensure that yesterday's incident does not repeat itself. So school administrators, elected school board members, head of schools, and parents, please help us in calling an end to these contests. It might seem like a game, and certainly it seems fun to young kids, but the consequences could be deadly. And so the last thing I'm going to ask of the public is that for those of you who are inclined to take to social media to express your opinions about either the homeowner or the student player, I'd ask you to withhold your judgment. The situation has been traumatic for everyone involved, and throwing these folks into the fire of social media advances, in my mind, no constructive good. We want our kids, all of us, to be safe, so help us keep them so. And I'll hand it off to Sheriff Leeper to go into more detail about yesterday's incident.
Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Sheriff Waters, for hosting us here. Unfortunately, I never knew about this game. I didn't see PSA, unfortunately, but I learned about it yesterday, where 3 Bishop Kenny students came up to Nassau County to tag or shoot with a water pistol another Bishop Kenny student. They came up early in the morning, it's dark, come in the driveway, lurking around vehicles, and we do have, on occasion, individuals come up in the neighborhoods and they go and they try to open car doors to see if there's anything in there that they can steal. It's not uncommon. So the homeowner was alerted there's some people in her driveway. So she did what most would do, go check it out. And unfortunately, one of the students has a water pistol, but it looks like a gun in the dark. You can't tell the difference. It's still under investigation, but this is something that, thankfully, the student is still alive. But a couple inches over, the parents will be planning a funeral. So the intent of the game is fun. No problem with that. But you have to use common sense when you're playing these games. You know, going to someone's, in a neighborhood, in their driveway, lurking around their house at 6 o'clock in the morning when it's dark is not good common sense. You know, they call it senior assassins, but doing something like that, I call dumb assassins. You shouldn't do stuff like that. So it's important that we keep our students safe. I know they want to play games to have fun, but this can be a deadly game in the right situation. So thankfully, in this case, it wasn't, but who knows, it may be the next time. So I would encourage parents to talk to your kids, let them know the dangers of these games, and not get into situations where they can get in trouble. So thank you.
Good afternoon. I am Mike Key. I'm the Chief of Police for Neptune Beach Police Department. Thank you, Sheriff Waters, as well as Ms. Nelson, for inviting us here. Ensuring the safety of our children, including our high school students, is our highest priority. The recent incident in Nassau County is a sobering reminder that incidents could occur in any of our communities, including Neptune Beach. At the beach, the assassin game is particularly popular at Fletcher High School, and unfortunately, this activity has led to multiple incidents involving trespassing on private property, reckless driving, and other unsafe behaviors. Our officers, along with myself, have witnessed these situations, and while none of them, thankfully, have resulted in catastrophe, they pose significant risks to both our students and the broader community. Parents, I urge you to have a conversation with your children about the dangers associated with this game. Students, I ask that you consider the potential consequences of your choices. What may seem like a harmless game can quickly escalate into life-altering situations. On behalf of the Neptune Beach Police Department, our thoughts and prayers are with the student, their family, the involved law enforcement officer as well, and everyone affected by this tragedy. Thank you.
So as we wrap things up, let me say this. The teenage mindset is always, it'll never happen to me. It'll never happen. You know, I'm going to be just fine. I can speed down the road, I'll never crash. I can play a game and nothing's ever going to happen to me. Well, unfortunately, we saw what just happened in Nassau County just yesterday. We ask this, that you seriously reevaluate what you're doing, when you're doing it, and how you're doing it, and end it. We don't want young people not to have fun. That's not the goal here. The goal is to make sure everyone's safe. You can have ways to have fun, but be safe doing it. And this is just not, currently, the age in which we live, just not a good thing to do. So we ask that. We plead with our parents to make sure we have discussions with our young people. I'm the father of 3 kids. They were teenagers once, and they always do things that we say, and they always say, Dad, that's never going to happen. Well, it did. So we just ask that you reevaluate what you're doing and maybe end it and find something else to have fun with. All right? And with that, we'll take any questions you may have.
I've got one over here. Acting as Jackson, did the agent involved in this shooting identify themselves as law enforcement before?
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to step to the side and let my neighboring sheriff, Bill Leeper, answer that question.
You're saying, did the homeowner say who she was?
Yes.
Why would she do that? There's no requirement. She's a homeowner. Someone's coming into her property. She's not going into someone else's property. She's off duty. She's protecting what she has. She don't know if these people out there have real guns, if they're after her or anybody. So it's still under investigation, but there's no requirement for her to do that.
And my follow-up to that was anyone told to drop their weapons? Or was anything said like that, like drop your weapons at all?
Again, everything's still under investigation. We still have to complete everything, take all the facts. We'll present all that to the state attorney's office and determine where we go from there. But as of yet, it's still under investigation, but there's no requirement. You know, it'd be just a Joe Blow out there, someone coming in their driveway, and they're gonna go out there and check it out. If someone has a weapon, then that's concerning.
Can the teenagers who are on these games face any charges like trespassing or something like that?
So in this case, charges will not be brought, but I want to be very clear. There are a myriad of potential violations of law that are implicated in these games. You just heard Neptune Beach mention that they have arrested kids for reckless driving, for trespass. Every case is fact-specific. Certainly that's true of self-defense as well. But to your question also, as a matter of law, if you believe your life or the life of another is in imminent danger, you are allowed to use, to reciprocate with deadly force.
Just a question on the gun. It looks like it was duct taped. I mean, was that an attempt by the student, do we know yet, to make it look less realistic?
I don't know, and as Sheriff Leeper mentioned, they'll continue to gather facts and share those facts with the state attorney's office. But he also mentioned, which is important, this happened in the dark of the morning. So to the homeowner who I understand was alerted by Ring camera video, you could not distinguish that this was a water gun.
Thank you, everyone.